Before we get into the game, we want to give a special shout out to the newest member of the Ice Dawgs, Alaina.
And they are your 10-time Savannah Cup champions.
January 13th marked the first Savannah Classic victory for every current player on the Georgia hockey team. And yet, something more important happened outside the rink. The Ice Dawgs made their annual trip to the Children's Hospital, where they met amazing kids, including Alaina, a bright, sweet 9-year-old girl who loves detective stuff, cheer, and skating. She was diagnosed in the summer of 2023 with osteosarcoma, a rare bone cancer that caused her leg to be amputated. Alaina is an avid Ice Dawgs fan and quickly became a part of the team. She read the starting lineups, the team used her celebration, and had her hold the trophy after their victory. Alaina is no longer an Ice Dawgs fan. She is an Ice Dawg through and through. We ask viewers to not ignore signs and understand the importance of doctor checkups. We also further encourage you to go to the description, where there is a link to Alaina's story and a GoFundMe where you can donate toward medical costs, including a new surgery that would give Alaina full mobility with a prosthetic.
Amazing meeting you, Alaina. We really appreciate it. You're a member of this team.
Hello and welcome everybody to tonight's presentation of UGA Ice Dawgs Hockey. I'm Torin Smith. With me as always, Joe Kopsho and Ren Grimsley, and we are set to go here for first period action from the ice in Cumming, Georgia, as the Ice Dawgs host the Auburn Tigers for their third of 4 meetings this season. The Ice Dawgs quickly on the attack to start this one, but the Tigers get a break as the Dogs turn it over in the offensive zone. With speed come the Tigers, shot in on Newbold, save, rebound is swallowed up by the Dogs tender, and he will get a face-off.
Yeah, that's the first we've seen of Newbold, and it wasn't an easy save. Luckily, Daly, one of the starters, he's burst onto the scene as a sophomore, could only get a chipped backhand up and couldn't beat the shoulder of Newbold. So good start for the Tigers, best chance. And you said we're ready to get underway, Torin. I think
we are underway.
We're more than ready.
They sprung this start a little bit quick on us. We weren't expecting the puck drop with no anthem after warm-ups.
No national anthem.
Second line started for Georgia of Bailey, Mazzaros, and Punzenberger. First line out there now, though, Conway, Hedquist, and Parente. Both teams got a change after the first 30 seconds. Here's Parente with a shot in the slot. That one was blocked by an Auburn player, and Gannon couldn't find the puck as the Tigers take it back up ice.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup that's going to contain a lot of back and forth. Both these teams like to be aggressive and physical, use their speed, and just convert on good opportunities.
Parente hits Gannon in stride. Sorry, Joe.
we'll see who takes advantage. Off the post and crossbar right where that corner meets.
Good. Great shot from Hedquist trying to sneak that one short side. And there's a slash coming up here on the Tigers, as I believe that's going to be number 11, Chuck Bay. Out in front, that puck loose in the slot. Tigers still haven't touched it up. Georgia with an extra attacker on now as Newbold made his way to the bench. Here's Burnett walking the line. Down low, it's Eberle. On the half wall, fans on the pass, and Auburn touches up now. And the Ice Dawgs will head to the power play.
Yeah, we were so focused on the delayed penalty that I think Auburn even lost track. They just sent everyone to the bench, a 5-man change while the puck was right out in front of the net. And Conway tried to drop it off, just couldn't get it. Now, though, the Dogs will be on the power play. That was a really good opportunity they missed on, but a chance to capitalize here.
So Chuck Bay heads to the box for slashing. Him and Parente got tangled up behind the play, and he retaliated. The refs always get the second one, Joe. So Auburn will be a man down here just about a minute and a half into the game.
Yeah, and Chuck Bay has been known to these parts of Georgia as he's been doing it well for a long time. There does a poor mistake and has Auburn on their heels to start out.
Good keep at the line by Burnett as the Ice Dogs set up on the perimeter for their power play. Hedquist gets rocked in the corner, but the Dogs regain control. Out in front, Mazzaros walking down from the wall, takes a shot, trying to sneak it short side. I think an Auburn player got a stick on it, though, and deflected that one high. Here's Burnett once again, back down low for Mazzaros. Over to Hagen with a drive at the point, that one wide. Punzenberger at the side of the goal, couldn't get a stick on it, though. Mazzaros able to collect it and play it to the point. Shot by Burnett, that one's blocked by Landon Patz, and it will go all the way down into Georgia territory.
Really good opportunity for Punzenberger there as Dank was way out of position. Dank, though, known as this best team's goalie, and he was great earlier in the season against Georgia. We'll see how he fares today.
He started both games in a back-to-back against Georgia, going 1-1. I think you said he was 80 for 87, Joe, on the weekend?
Across the two games, he's pretty much the only reason they won the first, making 52 saves.
An excellent goaltender, and he is doing great on this penalty kill for Auburn so far, as this one will be cleared by the Tigers with about 45 seconds left on the Bay penalty.
Good opportunity there as that puck got in the high slot. Just no shot released as it looked like Punzenberger was a little unsure with the puck on its edge.
Here's Parente with it. Second power play unit out there for Georgia now. Parente down the left wing side, trying to cut it to the net. Walking in front. He shoots, saved by Dank as that one just goes to the corner. And Lange will collect it, but not before it's taken away at the line by Gannon. Here's Poole with it. Looking across ice for Parente, but that one's picked off and fired the length of the ice.
And I'm glad we mentioned Dank because that was almost the most likely goal. He first got the stick on it, jarred it loose just enough, but then it came in on his pads. Two good saves.
That one took a weird bounce off of Newbold's glove as the Tigers are back to full strength. So Georgia, not a lot of chances on the power play, Joe. They were not so great last time we saw these two teams meet. That was early in the season, though.
Yeah, and on the opposite end, Auburn was great as 3 of their 6 goals came on the power play.
So special teams will be the difference likely here for Georgia. They've got a lot of improvement on the man advantage since the last time we saw these two teams play, but they are 0 for 1 so far tonight. Here's Gannon walking in. He shoots it off the crossbar. A nice move, sneaking it over the shoulder of Dank, but another one just goes off the pipe.
And I think these Dogs know plenty about Dank that they don't really want to test his glove side.
Here's a chance for the Tigers, though. Catalano walking in. He shoots. He scores! Sam Catalano puts one over the shoulder of Newbold, and the Tigers take the lead.
And no chance for Newbold there as he was left on a 1-0, and Catalano just throws it over the blocker side of Newbold. And that's an early start and lead for the Tigers. Just under 5 minutes in, you can see the turnover and a good breakout pass gets Catalano all alone, and all he has to do is throw it over Newbold. I don't think Newbold was expecting him to try that blocker side as Newbold went down almost expecting a 5-hole.
So Auburn with one of their first shots on Newbold. They've had a couple before, but haven't really tested the Ice Dogs goalie until now. But they will take that grade A chance as they get on the board first.
And we mentioned that this is just going to be a back-and-forth aggressive game.
Here's Eberle down low, plays it down low for Adler behind the goal. Will Donato with it on the half wall. Georgia with lots of zone time in this one so far, but nothing to show for it yet as the Tigers poke it out to center ice. Georgia inside their own blue line starting the rush. Donato snaps his stick in 4 pieces, I believe.
And Donato then retaliated by...
I think they're going to call Donato for a penalty here.
Yeah, exactly. As what was left of the stick in his hand, he kind of used to shove up on Duchman.
And that's the rule. You have to immediately drop your stick once it breaks.
And that'll send Donato to the box.
Looks like they're giving him the gate, Joe.
So I don't necessarily disagree with that call. What Donato did was dangerous, especially with a broken stick in your hand. We'll see what the penalty is on that. It will be a 5-minute major.
So Donato, 5 minutes in, gets 5 and a game. So he will likely be done for the weekend.
And from what I'm guessing Coach Campy's going to say to him after the game, it's none of it going to be good after that.
So the Tigers head to the power play, and it's going to be a long one here. Of course, on the major penalty, if they score, the Dogs will stay shorthanded.
And this is a dangerous line out for Auburn. They only have 1 defenseman out there, as they have all 3 of their top goal scorers.
Here's Martin with a drive, trying to get it out of the zone, but it's kept in. Spicer picks it off, though. He's got Whitwer in stride. Whitwer pulls up. Smart play on the penalty kill to just take a few extra seconds off. And Spicer hard on the forecheck, almost turned it over in front of the goal as McKenzie made a dangerous play, but here come the Tigers back the other way on the man advantage. In the corner, Bill Martin takes the puck to the wall, but it's taken away by Pats. Up the wall for Daly. Plays it back down to the corner. Jake Fleet with it now. Back to Daly on the point. Plays it back down low. Fleet with a shot. Bouncing around in front. They score! Looks like it's going to be Jake Fleet with the power play goal as it took a weird bounce down low, and the Tigers lead by 2.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't pretty, but it doesn't matter how it gets in. It just tipped and trickled in past Newbold's blocker as he couldn't kick the leg out. We'll see if you can catch it on the replay, but that puck just kind of knuckleballs across the ice after it gets shot point-blank range. Hard to see, but all it really did was squirt in. Wasn't intentional, but as said, doesn't really matter when you can get goals anyway and put 2 up on the board early.
So the Tigers will stay on the power play as they scored just 40 seconds into the 5-minute penalty to Donato. And they smell blood in the water right now, Joe. This is a great opportunity for the Tigers to build up a big lead over the Dogs.
Yeah, and this is certainly not how the Dogs wanted to start.
There's a pass down low. Bay fans on the shot. Willoughby Ray gets it back at the point off the pass from Bay. He's got it back on the half wall, drops it down low for Henry. Sorry, that's TJ Runchi in the corner, passes it off for Duchman. That one cleared, but not out as it's kept in at the line by Patillo. Here's Bay, back up top for Patillo. He'll walk the line into the high slot, plays it back down low for Bay, trying to center it to Runchi, but it was blocked by Poole. Puck still in the zone. Poole trying to fire it out. Another good keep that time by Patillo as Strauss gets a stick on it, trying to get it out off the glass, and he does. As the tired defensive legs for Georgia get a change here. Adler trying to kill a few seconds off as the Tigers get set back up on the rush.
Bad pass there by Auburn.
A good read from Burnett. Breaks that one up. Mazzaro's fresh off the bench. Forces the offsides on the Tigers. So we'll get a whistle and a face-off just outside of the Georgia zone.
So this is an Auburn team, Torin, that's 9-8-1 on the season. They're in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. They were 9-3-1 at one point, and the way they played Georgia earlier in that season shows why they had that record. And they've come back out from losing the past 5 games, 2 against Tampa, 2 against South Carolina, and showed why at one point they were very much at the top of CHS Division I.
And Georgia, with their very good record, only 3 losses in regulation this season, one of those, of course, being to these Auburn Tigers. For some reason, Auburn just seems to have their number as they take this one around the outside on the power play. Here's Daly with it to the point. Back down low, it's Fleet. Up top, Daly again. Return pass to Fleet. as they play catch with it. Daly with a shot tipped out in front. That one just goes wide as Pat's got a stick on it, uncontested in front of the net.
And I think the most interesting thing in this matchup for the Tigers is right now they're 5th in CHS Division I. They're last, but they're only 2 points out from being in that tournament, that Division I tournament. A win here against Georgia, a team they already dislike, would be huge for playoff hopes.
So lots on the line for these Tigers, and Georgia kind of just asleep out of the gates, Joe.
And reversely, Georgia is the 1 seed. If Auburn were to sneak in as the 4, these teams would match up again for a 5th time.
Here's Willoughby Ray with it. Curls it back at the point. Played back down low. Bay centering pass. That one goes off of Newbold. Here's Runchi with it. Tried to drop pass, but Martin gets a stick on it. Skying it out, trying to get it out to center. Conway picks it up at the blue line, and he'll skate it down the left wing side. Parente going back door, looking for the pass was Conway, but it's broken up by the Tigers. And they will set it up on the rush once again with 1:20 left to go on the Donato penalty.
We've seen that a couple times this past weekend with Conway and Parente just missing.
Here's Duchemin with it, back to the point. That one's shot with some power from Patillo, and Newbold will swallow that one up and get a whistle.
And that was extremely dangerous again, as I think it went off a Georgia stick, so it redirected into Newbold as we have a mix-up right there in the center ice. As Strauss and can't tell who the Tiger is getting into it. Strauss and Runchi getting in. So a little bit of an argument before Runchi heads back to the bench. And Torin with a 10:30 start and a lot of people already asleep. The good thing here is you can hear some of the chirping from the ice already.
It's an interesting fact. We might have to mute the mics as this one goes on.
We'll just do a video-only stream.
Off the tie-up, Auburn comes away with it with a minute left to go on their man advantage. Circling back is McKenzie. He punches it back in deep. Whitwer there for Georgia, but it's taken off of his stick by Avery. Good play there by Poole as he hammers this one the length of the ice and kills a few extra seconds off of the penalty.
Yeah, and if you're Georgia here, you just want to kill off this last about 40 seconds of this penalty and ride that momentum of a good last 4 minutes of the kill if you can.
Here's Callan Daly with some speed, fires it across looking for the stick of Avery, but that one's broken up and it will go all the way back out to center ice. Here's Patillo with it, nice move at his own blue line. He'll walk it across into the Ice Dawgs zone, blocker saved by Newbold. Avery picks it up in the corner, drops it off for Pats. 10 seconds left to go on the Auburn power play. Here's Avery in the corner with it. Plays it across to Franklin in the corner. There's a shot by Patillo. That one goes wide. Willoughby Ray collects it as the Ice Dawgs return to even strength. So they give up 1 on the 5-minute penalty, and they trail by 2 here halfway through the first period. Here's Patillo with a shot. That one turned aside by Newbold. Loose puck in front. Willoughby Ray couldn't collect it as Spicer got a stick on it, and he gets it out to center ice.
So if you try and take a positive from this start for the Ice Dawgs, it's that they finished the kill, and also Will Donato being the man out. He had kind of stepped up onto that third line where Tyler Stewart played the majority of the season. So Tyler Stewart's going to be able to fill into that third line like no one else on the team could.
In the corner, Sparago with it, centering pass, picked off by Stewart as he plays that one out to center. Here's Adler with it. Sam Adler down the left wing side, punches it around the Auburn defender. They try to clear, but Eberle able to keep it in. He'll fire it across the ice for Adler. Adler up top. Gannon's got it now. Takes the shot, looking for the tip in front was Eberle, but it just tipped wide. Played back up to the point for Burnett. Good puck movement here for Georgia. Out in front, Stewart with a shot. That one is tipped off of the stick of Pakuris. And the Tigers will get the rush going through neutral territory. Here's a shot from the high slot. That one turned aside by Newbold. A good chance down there as Eberle lays a check. And that'll get the Ice Dawgs bench on their feet. Here's Burnett through center, fires that one in deep, and the Dogs will get a change.
Yeah, we'll see how this momentum builds and how the physicality picks up. These two teams we've mentioned multiple times don't like each other.
That one punched in deep by Bailey. Back there is Patillo. Goes off the glass and into the Auburn bench. So we'll get a face-off inside of the Tigers zone with 8:24 left to go in the first. The Tigers lead the Ice Dawgs 2-0.
And for the Ice Dawgs, they really haven't faced adversity like this all season. Of course, they have 3 losses, but every time they were really in the game until the end. This is the first time that just right out of the gates, they've been kind of thrown in the ice and stomped down 1 or 2 times. Going to have to see a big boost come back in this waning half of the first.
That puck tipped into the corner off the stick of Bailey. Mazzaro's first man to it. Tries to leave it for Bailey, but the Tigers player got a stick on it. Bailey back down low for Mazzaros. Looking for the centering pass. A good stick. Turns that one away by Patillo as Martin is checked there. Keeps the puck, though. Mazzaros has got it. Looking for Bailey out in front as this one is skied all the way down behind Newbold, and that will be icing. So those Tigers players that tried to change will have to come back out on the ice.
And we see it every game, Torin, where they just try and sneak off a little bit at the end.
Yeah, sometimes it works. We saw the Ice Dawgs get away with it a couple of times.
We did.
Against Clemson, I believe.
Yeah, back-to-back weekends of facing the Tigers for these Ice Dawgs. And this is the first time in a long time since November 17th and 19th when they played Tennessee that they're going to play the same team in back-to-back games. It hasn't happened in quite a while as the opponents have been in and out for the Ice Dawgs.
Here's Bailey in the corner, takes the check. Hagen with it on the half wall, trying to play it out in front, but it's taken off of his stick by Kemner. Here's Duchman with it, walking to the net. Poke check by Newbold. Penalty coming up here on the Dogs. And it looks like it's going to be Bill Martin headed to the box for Georgia.
Yeah, that one pretty clear hooking. We'll see if they give him tripping instead. But he brought his man down as he cut toward the net, and Duchman had an open lane. It is hooking. You'll see in the replay here that Duchman was almost all alone as it looked like Mazzaros lost the puck for a second. Martin kind of left out to dry, tried to do a little too much, and we saw a successful power play from Auburn earlier. It'll be right back on that power play.
So Auburn 1 for 1 on the man advantage tonight. The long penalty to Donato as they will look to extend their lead here. That one deflected out by Conway. Great penalty killing to start for Georgia, but a quick up for the Tigers as they get this one right back in the zone. Here's a chance. That one shot wide by Daly. I believe Strauss got a stick on it. And we see this a lot from that penalty killing pair that's out there right now, Joe. You'll see Conway or Parente blow the zone and look for a pass through center ice.
Yeah, especially with that 2-goal deficit, trying to get something going, and now a stick loss by Poole.
It's played back up to the point. Here's McKenzie with it. Stepping around him is Conway, though. 2-on-1 for Georgia. Conway and Parente. Conway walking in, shoots it high. He had that glove side corner, but he put it just up over the crossbar. And a bad change for the Tigers. Here comes Parente once again. He's got Conway streaking. That shot right into the Auburn logo on Dink's chest. And the faceoff will be in the Tigers' zone.
Yeah, funnily enough, Conway might have had the best opportunity for the Ice Dawgs all night, and it was on the penalty kill. Good step around all alone, and he just misses high and wide. Just about 6 inches to the right of that right post and maybe an inch or two high.
Face-off won by the Tigers with a minute left to go on their power play. Good forechecking here, shorthanded by the Dogs as Whitwer and Spicer keep that one in deep. Finally collected by Patillo as he starts the rush on the man advantage. Here's Caleb Patillo with it down the right wing side. Takes the shot off the stick of Newbold. Duchman gets it back in the corner. Taken to the wall by Gannon. Alex Duchman with it. Poke checked by Gannon, and Whitwer will take this one out to center and just chip it into the near corner. First man to it's Gannon. Steps around the check of Patillo, but loses the puck to Willoughby Ray, and he'll skate this one down the left wing side. Willoughby Ray with speed. Through center ice, steps around Spicer, trying to shoot it at the net. Good back check there from Gannon. Breaks up that chance. But the Tigers keep control. That pass just goes over the stick of Duchman. And all the way back out to center. 10 seconds on the penalty to Bill Martin.
And Spicer just tied up 2 Auburn Tigers. They don't even know the puck's gone.
Here's Burnett firing that one all the way down the ice as Martin leaves the box. We are back to even strength. So Auburn falls to 1-2 on the man advantage tonight. And Georgia with a little momentum now. Bailey trying to sneak that one past the stick of Henderson, but he picks it off and dumps it into the near corner for the Tigers.
I don't know if I'm going to get over that for a while, Torin. That might be one of the funnier things we've seen. On the near wall, the puck had left. Spicer had gotten it out, and he was able to convince 2 Tigers it was still under his skate.
There's Bailey chipping it in behind. Punzenberger's got it behind the goal. Mazzaro's looking for Bailey, trying to sneak it back door, but a good stick from Henderson breaks that one up. And here come the Tigers back the other way. Back and forth, Pakuris sends that one wide, and Newbold deflects it up into the netting. So we'll get a face-off inside the Georgia zone. A couple extra whacks there from Mazzaros and Pakuris.
Yeah, and we'll see how that develops. We mentioned before the stream, you and I, Torin, last week we had Max Seveloja on Alabama, who became the 3rd most penalized player. And today we have Pakuris, who is the 2nd most in AAU D1. So he likes to get a little physical. He actually is tied 2nd most with Seveloja, who I think was able to get his total up. So not completely in 2nd by himself, but.
You say get his total up as if he's trying to do it.
If I'm playing hockey, I'm trying to lead in one stat. I don't care what it is.
You get on the score sheet. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Tigers. Daly with a shot. Saved by Newbold. Rebound loose in the crease. They score! Not sure who put it in. Looks like it's going to be Jake Fleet with his 2nd of the night as he crashed the net hard. And the Tigers lead 3-0.
What a goal by Fleet. He was completely on the ground as that puck was bouncing around, and he was just able to stick it in. Here you can see Auburn knew they were going to get the puck and got ahead. Fleet got upended and was able to put the puck in. I don't think he got it with his stick, though. It looked like he was able to kick it in.
So the Ice Dawgs, not much to show in this first period. A 3-goal deficit as Strauss lights someone up right there. That's going to be Brooks Franklin at his own blue line taking a hard check from Strauss.
I think Franklin's cage came undone.
And he heads to the bench as Georgia picks up the physical game here.
Got to change something.
I was saying not much to show here in this first period. And that's kind of how they came out in the first game last time these two teams met. The first of those two. Of course, Georgia traveling for that one.
Both games the Ice Dawgs played against the Tigers were poor. Even in the second game, they were trailing 2-1 going into the third, where they were able to score 3 unanswered.
A 3-goal deficit is very rare for these Ice Dawgs. We don't see that very often, especially in the first period. I don't think we've seen that at all this season, actually, Joe, down 3.
I would say there hasn't been a single game where they were down 3 at any point. And if they were, it wasn't for long.
So a tall mountain to climb here as that shot is sent wide. Georgia trying to get something going here on the breakout. Poole just chips it out to center ice, and the Dogs get a change. That one fired up, ice tipped into the zone by Bay. Here's Gannon in the corner. He'll sky that one out to center, looking for Hedquist to skate onto it. Icing waved off here as it's sent behind the net. Here's Parente with it out in front, looking for Conway. A good stick by Henderson breaks that up. Burnett with a shot. That one goes wide. Rebound at the side of the goal. Hedquist stretching out to make the save was Dank as he got the pad on that one. Centering pass broken up again by Bay. Gannon down low. Conway, Parente at the top of the slot. His shot off the post again. That's the 3rd post the Ice Dawgs have hit in this first period.
Yeah, that one clipped off Dank's blocker right up into the post and clanged the metal.
Here's Cumming with a shot, bar down and out again. Another one off the post. They score! James Hedquist breaks the ice for the Dogs.
Breaks the ice for the Dogs and the ice. I like that call, Torin. What a shot. You saw the first one just not go your way. The second one ends up in the back of the net. Just had mentioned how many times hitting the post. They do an excellent job to finally put it in. We'll see if replay got it. I was excited to capture that one off the post. As you can see, this first shot comes in right high slot, and then you can see the Ice Dawgs following up a good job. That's what your coach always teaches you. If it comes out right in the slot, go crash the net. And they're at least able to get some momentum here and hopefully put up 3 unanswered of their own.
So it's obviously a cliche, Joe, that it's a game of inches, but we've really seen that on display here in the first, as Georgia with a couple of pucks that if they went the right way, it would be 3-3 right now.
Yeah, and certainly if they hadn't scored there, I mean, it's not often you go bar down and it doesn't end up in the back of the net. That would have been a game of centimeters, not inches.
And this one will be offsides once again on Georgia. So 2:04 left to go here in the first. It's 3-1 Auburn after James Hedquist finally gets the Dogs on the board.
And now Hedquist's 12th goal. Excellent start for the freshman from Floral Park, New York specifically.
This one played all the way back down into Georgia territory, but not enough for icing. As Martin collects it behind the goal, he'll drop it off for his partner, Hagen. Here's Punzenberger to Bailey at center, drops that one off for Hagen. Played back from Martin, but he mishandles it, forced to play it back behind his own goal. He's chased there by Avery, drops it back off for Hagen. Truman Hagen with speed through his own zone, circles back for Martin. Through center, fires that one off the stick of Mazzaros, and it will be offsides again on Georgia.
Yeah, and you can see how the aggressive forecheck of Auburn, it's very similar to Georgia's, how it can create situations like that. Georgia was just stuck in their zone on the breakout as Martin and Hagen tried to find space, and then when they finally get it up, a forecheck right at the blue line, players playing aggressively are able to keep it out of the offensive zone and then push it back out while Bailey was way off.
Georgia wins the face-off just outside of the Auburn zone. Martin gains the line and fires that one in deep. At the side of the goal, Willoughby Ray picks it up, takes a check there from Adler, but able to get the puck out to center is Pats. Picked off by Martin, though, trying to play it out through center, but he turns it over. Here's Brooks Franklin with a shot. That one blockered away by Newbold. Avery with it, plays it back down low. Here's Pats with it. Takes the check from Martin, but gets it off to Franklin. Back to Pats. He's lit up there by Eberly on a great check. And here come the Dogs back through center. Adler and Martin. Martin with the puck now. Adler able to feed the pass through. Looking for Stewart in front was Martin, but the pass mishandled. That shot, or a pass rather, from Strauss finds the tape of Adler, but he couldn't get the shot away at the side of the goal. And a penalty coming up here on the Tigers. It's going to be James Willoughby Ray headed to the box for roughing.
And that's an important one because Willoughby Ray's usually on that penalty kill unit. So we'll see how aggressive they get. And the interesting thing about Auburn is even though they're on the penalty kill, can't really feel like they're out of it, Torin. 9 shorthanded goals, most in AAU D1 and D2, tied in D2. And that's a little interesting because when you get down to D2 and D3, the competition doesn't drop off much, but it can be a lot easier to get shorthanded goals. So even being tied in D2 is extremely impressive.
Here's a drive from Poole, but he fans on the shot. I had a little quick with the call on that one. You see Poole winding up from Ovechkin's office there, and he doesn't miss very much.
And it was wide open.
20 seconds left in the period. Georgia with the man advantage. They'll carry over, barring a goal here late in the first. Here's Conway in the corner, centering pass right onto the stick of Patillo. Kept in by Gannon. 5 seconds left in the period. Gannon trying to play it towards the net. Parente able to keep it in, but not enough time, as that will do it for the first. A late hit there from Poole. And some words from Duchemin as he tells Poole to head to the locker room. And that they will. The teams head to their respective dressing rooms with Auburn leading the Georgia Ice Dogs 3-1 after 20. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll see you right back here for second period action. Between periods, our very own Ren Grimsley caught up with Ice Dawgs forward Dylan Spicer and Ice Dawgs goalie Ryan Testino in the Ren zone.
Hello everybody, I'm Ren Grimsley. I'm here with Dylan Spicer and Ryan Testino. Dylan, starting with you, how big mentally was scoring that goal right now before the end of the first period?
Oh, it's huge. You know, we get down 3, not a good feeling in the first, but we always knew that we were playing like the better team out there. Just like a lot of bounces not going our way and like a couple of blown D-zone coverages, but I mean, we were the better team there, and to get that goal, it just reaffirms us that, like, you know, we're obviously in this game and can obviously get there, so hopefully more to come in the second and third.
Absolutely. And now on to you, Ryan. 3 goals allowed in that first period. What can we clean up defensively as a spectator?
Yeah, I mean, like Spicer was saying, I think we're playing up 5-on-5. I think the biggest thing is they're just flying guys and like tipping the puck over our heads, so we just got to make sure we can catch that.
A couple of speedsters over there.
Yeah, exactly. So, two's the fast guy. We just got to start him down.
Awesome. Thank you, boys. Good luck out there in the second.
Thank you.
And we are go here from the ice in Cumming, Georgia for some second period action. Little 4-on-4 hockey to start off the period as Jack Gannon will take a seat for the Ice Dawgs with a period right at the end, or a penalty right at the end of the period, rather.
And then after that, Auburn will have a short, about 40-second power play.
So we sit at 3-1 Auburn right now. Joe, will you take us back to the first period recap?
Well, let's watch this first offensive zone possession as these teams like to go back and forth.
There's a whistle. Now go for it, Joe.
Yeah, just a little scared with how these two teams like to play so aggressively. Auburn opened it up with 3 unanswered goals. The first one by Sam Catalano, assisted by his defensive teammate Patillo. Then 2 goals by Jake Fleet, 1 unassisted, and Callan Daly picked up his 13th assist on the second one. That brings Fleet up to over 10 goals. Excellent season by him. And then Georgia responded back towards the end of the period with a Hedquist goal from Conway.
So that's where we sit right now. Georgia with some bad puck luck in the first period, hit a few posts. But they've got 1 goal to show for it all so far. As like you said, Joe, they will be shorthanded for about 36 seconds. Auburn unable to get out of the zone. Here's Fleet now. He'll skate this one up. Here's Daly with it now. Down the left wing side, trying to drop it off, but no one there as Parente picks it up. Alex Strauss with it here for the Dogs. 10 seconds left on the penalty to Willoughby Ray. Strauss down the left wing side, stops up at the circle. Curls to the corner, takes it to the wall as the Tigers are back to full strength. So it's an Auburn power play for 33 seconds. And Strauss with a smart play here to just pin that one to the wall. Conway in to help him out, but it's taken off of his stick by Lange, and he'll skate this one through center. Here's Lange with a lane to the net, walking in, shot just goes through the crease and wide. Here's Patillo with it. That one shot in and blocked by Strauss. Patillo once again, 10 seconds left on the penalty to Gannon. Walking into the high slot, blockered away by Newbold. Shot out from the corner, they score! A bottle popper from Callan Daly. And the Tigers, with a power play goal, extend the lead to 4-1.
That one's really unfortunate because I think Newbold got his stick on it, and it just kicked it up into the top of the net. As that one was certainly kind of face down on the ice, didn't really have much movement to it, and someone either got a stick on it or Newbold did to where it kicked it up.
We'll see here. You see in the replay, it's just a little bit, or sorry, I'm watching it back on the replay. It looks like Newbold got a stick on it, Joe.
Sometimes
it just kind of bounced up on him.
My finger is not quick enough to hit the replay button.
There's a shot from Stewart, and it broke the mask of Denk. We've said it so many times how hard Tyler Stewart's shot is. And that one from point blank, he hauls off and breaks the strap on Dink's. I think he broke both of the straps, Joe.
Yeah, both of the straps are off. We'll see if the refs let him stay out there as he tries to redo them. If they can connect, he'll be fine, but those straps did come off. Good job on the early whistle as the ref noticed it immediately because that puck was, of course, still bouncing around, so could have been dangerous.
It was like a gunshot down there, how loud that one was.
Yeah, it definitely hit the metal part of that mask, and I wonder if he saw a couple sparks kick off.
Tyler Stewart still looking for his first goal as an Ice Dog. Had a good chance right there. There's a good glove save by Denk on a drive from Hagen at the point. And the Auburn bench on their feet for their goaltender as he stays hot here in the second.
Yeah, Stewart had a great weekend last weekend as his birthday was on Sunday. So good birthday weekend for him as he added 2 assists in those 2 games.
And like we mentioned, Will Donato out of the game with the penalty in the first period. So Stewart with some extra minutes there on that third line. They tend to split time, him and Donato. As Patillo gets it inside the Auburn zone, trying to play it up the boards for Pats, and he does. Fired cross ice onto the stick of Franklin. Hagen stepping up. Franklin able to lay it softly in on goal as Newbold drops it off for Martin. There's a blocked shot from Stewart, but it's kept in the zone by Franklin. Brooks Franklin with it now, fires it down low, looking for Pats. First man to it is Hagen, though, as he drops that off for Eberle. and the Dogs will get the rush going from their own zone.
And they need something here, down 3 goals again.
There's a turnover at center. Dogs forced to take it back. Martin's got it, fired cross ice, looking for Bardo, trying to get a stick on it, but he does not, as that one will go for icing.
I think Bardo tipped that one in.
I didn't look like he tipped that one. And Bardo and Patillo with some words for each other. Doesn't look too heated.
I think it just 5-holed Bardo then because it went right through him. I'm surprised he couldn't get a stick or at least like part of his thigh on there. And unfortunately that results in a face-off to the left of Newbold.
Runchi and Eberle squaring up on the draw. Off the tie-up. The Tigers come away with it. Willoughby Ray played back down the wall for Runchi, but it's taken off the stick by Bardo, and he'll get it out to center ice. Here's Adler with a nice move. Around Henderson, shot just wide, trying to sneak that one on the ice under the glove of Denk. As the fourth line for Coach Camp and the Ice Dogs looks to set the tone. Dan Bardo with some good checks on the forecheck. Whitwer takes a hit at his own blue line, and that one's going to be offsides on the Tigers.
And recently this fourth line has kind of brought out that momentum change as they got their first points of the season last weekend, as Bardo assisted both of Robbie Whitwer's goals and Spicer added an assist to one of Whitwer's goals. So good to see them get on the board. They've always been the defensive killers, and now have just brought on that momentum as Whitwer is getting into it a little bit with both Runchi, who just skated off, and Daly.
Robbie Whitwer, the hot hand on this fourth line. 2 goals in the last 2 games. Like you said, Joe, no goals for that line until the game against Clemson, as there's a hard check from Lange. He'll have to touch up. Jack Gannon with it for Georgia, plays it across to his partner Burnett, and we're seeing the physicality start to pick up here, Joe.
Yeah, just a lot of both teams finishing their checks now, specifically Lange in that corner twice.
There's a nice pass over to Spicer. His shot just goes wide. That one got tipped, I believe, off the Tigers defender. This one played out to center ice. Daly with it. Good stick from Gannon, breaks that up, but Daly keeps with it and is able to punch it into the near corner.
Good aggressive move. You don't want to give Daly that space that he likes to work in. Good job to throw 2 bodies at him.
That one tipped into the Auburn zone. Back to play that is McKenzie. Nice passes. He's got Daly streaking through center ice, trying to burn around Burnett, walking to the goal, saved by Newbold and cleared to the boards by Gannon. Great chance by Daly as he got that burst of speed around Burnett. And some tired legs out there for Georgia as they get a change.
Yeah, Daly is obviously the top point scorer for this Auburn team. He's been excellent so far.
There's Gannon with a shot again off the post. That's the 4th one that we've seen from the Dogs tonight. That one off the outside of the post, so not as close as some of the others, but like we said, a game of inches, and it's just not going the Dogs' way in this one.
It's been so close. That one might have been the 5th one. Of course, the 4th one resulted. And Ren, you get that one? Our cameraman, Ren, there had been a lot of digging at that board, and that was a dirty play by Pakuris as he just kept finishing it off.
And I think they're going to just take Pakuris here. It's a lucky break for Gannon as he was just holding the stick of Pakuris. He had basically 2 sticks doubled up as if he was just holding one. That's why we saw that little temper tantrum from Pakuris.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it wasn't undeserved, but
it's definitely deserved. Gannon gets away with one.
As you've said earlier, it's usually the rebuttal that always gets thrown in the box.
So Gannon will stay out for the power play here for Georgia as he gets the face-off from Conway. Back over to Conway now. Trying to return pass to Gannon in the high slot, but it bounces off an Auburn player. There's a drive from Poole, and he scores! Leighton Poole, it's a power play goal! And the Dogs cut the deficit to 2.
Power play Poole party. He's been so used to that all season. Now 8 goals for him, 6 on the power play. He's been excellent. Great job of passing there. We thought Conway might have created a turnover. And he said, I'm not going to do that twice. Saucered a perfect one over. As you can see in the replay, a great job as Poole is able to just hammer that one home. We saw him whiff on one earlier. I don't think we've ever seen 2 in a row, and he proved it.
Like you said, though, that's an unreal pass from Conway across there. He couldn't find Gannon at the top of the slot, but he just turns around and wires one across right onto the tape of Poole, right in his wheelhouse, as he shoots another one right off the back of the goal. Centering pass for Parente in front, can't get a shot away. Trying to put it into the crease. Parente able to stay with the puck as it bounces behind the goal. Played back in behind the net. Down from the half wall. Here's Conway with it. Circles around the other side. Back up to the point. Takes the shot. That one turned aside by Denk, and it's up into the netting. So a face-off in the Auburn zone. Both benches with some applause for their teams. And we're seeing a little bit of life from Georgia here in the second period.
Yeah, and when you have a stellar goal like that, it's easy to gain momentum. Like you said, just a crazy pass by Conway. Just to kind of generalize it for maybe a smaller hockey fan, you maybe have 3 inches of stick there to hit your teammate, and you're going through about 4 bodies as everyone's down low on that penalty kill, all with their sticks and legs in the way. And just being able to find that little room across ice is one of the best assists we've seen all season from these Ice Dawgs, and frankly, any team.
There's a chance at the side of the goal from Stewart as he almost had one, trying to sneak it past the pad of Denk. But a good save and a clear from the Tigers sends this one out to center ice. Adler able to dump it in to the near corner. Eberle with it. Down low, he's got Poole. Looking for the centering pass to Adler. That one broken up by Daly on the back check. Martin able to hold the zone, though. Down low, Adler walking the goal line. Circles in behind the net. Looking again to center for Eberle, but it's taken away by the Tigers, and here comes Daly with speed. Daly stops up, takes a check from Adler, but able to drop it off for Lange. Blocker to side by Newbold out in front. Patillo comes up with it at the point, takes the shot. Tipped, saved by Newbold as he stretches the pad across, and the net is knocked loose. What a save by Nick Newbold to get that pad out there.
We just saw the best pass we've seen all season. How about the best save? An excellent redirect, as we'll see in this replay. There was almost nothing Newbold could have done about it, as the redirect was perfect back corner, and somehow Newbold is able to stretch all the way over and kick it wide while also taking the net off.
One of the best saves we've seen from Newbold all season, as he keeps the Ice Dawgs in this one in the second period.
We've been gifted with some great hockey in the past 2-3 minutes.
Martin passed up the boards for Adler. He'll tip that one into the zone. Ice Dawgs in the midst of a change. Ryan Bailey to the corner. Wraps it around the boards, but it's picked off. Chuck Bay with it. Back down the boards. McKenzie with it now. Circles it back to Bay. Ice Dawgs with a good forecheck here, but can't keep it in the zone that time as it goes out to center, and that one will be offsides on the Tigers.
Now, if you're the Ice Dawgs, you have to try and use this as momentum. You had some of the best plays you've had all season. Got to turn that into fuel to mount this comeback.
So 12-10 left to go here in the second period. Auburn still leads Georgia 4-2. Most recent goal from Leighton Poole on the power play. Georgia with some momentum after that goal. But the Tigers not going away as Avery dumps that one to the corner. Chasing it is Bill Martin. Plays it over to his partner Hagen. Up the boards, Bailey's got it. Here come the Dogs on the breakout. Fired across ice looking for Punzenberger, but it's tipped off of a Tiger stick. Punzenberger in on the forecheck. Good hit there from Mazzaros. Here's Hagen with it. Back down low. Mazzaros has got it. Looking for the centering pass, but Punzenberger's stick was tied up. A good defensive play by Matthew Avery. Here comes Pats back the other way. Gets around Hagen. Looks to center it off the back of the goal. That one bounced out to the crease, but it's cleared. And Bailey will skate it back the other way for Georgia. Here's Ryan Bailey. 1-on-2 trying to go between the legs. But it's played to the boards. He's got it down low for Punzenberger. Georgia able to keep control here. Good puck possession in the zone. Hagen back down low for Punzenberger. At the side of the net, Mazzaros drives one in as it's turned aside by Denk. Bailey trying to play it to the net, but it's cleared by Pats out to center ice. And we've got a penalty upcoming on Punzenberger as Pats is down after taking a hard check behind the play.
Yeah, that was dangerous as into the boards. Hard did Pats go. Little 15-on-15 crime, and Punzenberger will pay for it, and Pats will get his claps.
Pat's looking no worse for wear.
I don't think his cage was supposed to be dangling that much as he pulled it back down, so maybe the helmet a little worse, but he's able to skate off under his own power. Good to see that.
So Auburn back on the power play. The referee's discussing it, I believe.
And there is a chance this is perhaps more than 2 minutes.
So I didn't get a good look at it, Joe. Did you see what happened back there?
I would think the call is going to be boarding, as
it certainly sounded like it.
Punzenberger was not only hard in the upper part of the body into the boards, but that puck had also left maybe a second or two ago. So it also wasn't exactly clean on the timing.
So it's 5 minutes on the board for Punzenberger, the second 5-minute major against the Dogs tonight. Punzenberger won't leave the game. It's just going to be a 5-minute penalty, and that's usually the result of head contact, which would make sense because Pats went to the bench with his mask halfway up his face.
Yeah,
so.
Mentioned how he had caught him in that upper shoulder to neck area, so I would say that wasn't the most egregious 5 minutes ever given, and unfortunately for Dogs fans, likely deserved.
So Auburn 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. They scored on the last 5-minute power play. They will look to do that again. There's a turnover. Whitwer with a shot saved by Dink as Whitwer was gifted one there. So close to a shorthanded goal was Robbie Whitwer, looking for his third in as many games.
And as you can see in the replay here, just not a smart play by Dank. He makes one of the worst moves you can make as a goalie and then makes one of the most excellent as he was able to snag that out of the air. A good glove save, but I'm not sure that's exactly how head coach Ryan Roots drawed it up. Drew it up. Drawed it up?
Drawed.
Drewed. Journalism
Welcome
majors.
to English class with Joe Kopsho, folks.
Journalism majors not exactly at their peak right now. It is midnight, so.
The Tigers trying to get something going here on the power play, but the Dogs picked that one up at center. They say Parente was offside, so the Dogs forced a touch up as that was a pretty good chance shorthanded as Parente had a step on the Auburn defender in the race to the puck. Good play there by Conway as Gannon sends that one to the far corner.
And then as Parente goes to chase that puck, he gave a little bit of an extra look.
Making sure he's onside that time. Conway centering pass. Parente with a shot, that one high. A grade A chance shorthanded for the Dogs. They've had the better chances on this Auburn power play. Here's another one coming up. Conway couldn't get a stick on it. The blind pass from Parente just missed the mark.
And I like this decision by the Dogs. They're playing very aggressive in hopes that they can not only kill it off, but maybe get an opportunity on their own, although daily in open space is scary.
The Dogs weren't as aggressive on the first penalty kill, that first 5-minute one. And it came back to bite them, Joe, but it's working so far on this one as they've killed almost 2 minutes off of the 5-minute major to Punzenberger. Here's Duchemin with it. Down low, he's got Bay. Circles back, avoids the check of Burnett. Bay walking to the goal, poke check by Newble and fired back to the corner. Held on to, though, by Runchi. Plays it back down low for Duchemin. Up top, Willoughby Ray with it now. At the point, plays it across for Patillo. That one shot in, saved by Newbold. Looking around in the crease for it as it's cleared to the boards but not out. The Tigers regain control. Conway gets a stick on it for Georgia, trying to backhand it off the boards and out, but not enough on it as Patillo keeps the line. The Tigers get a change. Poked away by Burnett but kept in by Willoughby Ray. This one finally clears the zone as Conway gets a stick on it, and he'll get it across the blue line. Georgia trying to get a change. Mazzaros jumps the boards a little bit early, but not enough for too many men.
What a shift by Runchi as he skates off. He was the man out in front that got a tip. He was able to find Newbold, but scary as it not only almost found its way through, but then dangerously bounced around in the slot as the first 3 minutes of this penalty kill has been officially killed.
So 2 minutes left on the penalty to Punzenberger. Here's Willoughby Ray with it on the half wall. Centering pass, looking for his man in front, Sparago, but a good stick by Poole to break that pass up. Here's Lange back down low for Fleet. He's looking for his third goal of the night. Patillo with a good keep at the line. Blocked by Strauss as he sells out. Sparago with it. Down low in front. Poole diving. Puck still loose in front. Fleet's got it. Played back up to the point. Here's Patillo. Back down low. Fleet on the half wall. Defender without a stick in front for Georgia. And Newbold also without a stick. Fleet again. Strauss laying out to block the shot, but a good play.
And there's
Patillo. Shot down low. That one bouncing loose in front through the crease as Strauss gets the stick over to Newbold. Both players now. Strauss has got his stick back. And he takes one up high. A penalty coming up here on the Tigers. And a slap shot from Willoughby Ray goes right into the hand of Strauss, and the Dogs will take exception to that one.
And Willoughby Ray should maybe get a major for that, as the whistle was well blown. And that didn't find his hand. I think it found his... It did. He's shaking the wrist. I thought it caught him in the head, so that'll avoid the major. But well after the whistle did he fire a slap shot in. And earlier out in front, I said it was a crazy series of events, but Jack Sparago was getting into it in front of the net. And it was almost a clear fight, as it was just cross-check after cross-check between Sparago and, I believe, Strauss out in front. What a crazy series of events. That was maybe the most interesting 2 minutes of hockey we've ever seen. I want to go back to this replay just because it's funny, and I'm in the mood to laugh a little after all that craziness. But here you can see Strauss pick up a stick and give it back to Newbold. You can also see the pushing and shoving out in front. This is going to be, I'm guessing, Torin, a long ref show.
Yeah, let's do some comedy hour here, Joe. You got anything else funny for us? We're hearing it from the fans here on the Georgia side.
Yeah, there's a specific fan that's having a good time. So we see this often, but the refs are going to discuss. I think this is going to come out even though I would say that Auburn should come out with the worst of it. I don't think it'll come out that way. We do have penalty clocks in stadium. First new thing as we move from the Foundry Pavilion.
Oh, Benny just got kicked off the bench.
Steve Beneke, equipment manager, serves every role for this Ice Dawgs team, has been thrown out. And I think the interesting thing earlier was assistant coach Todd Miller threw up his hands as if the refs were getting irritated with him too. And he's one of the most cool-headed coaches in this entire college hockey South. So this is getting to him. And if that is any sign, Torin, I would almost say that the Dogs are not going to come out on the positive side of this.
Probably not. We got one penalty on the board following that exchange, and it's only to Henry Lange, but Punzenberger's still in the box, serving his minute 12 left, and I'm sure we've got some more coming up.
And it sounded like, we mentioned with the kind of acoustics in this rink, it sounded like Deutschman just went back to his bench and said, we're going to be on the power play.
I would not be surprised if that were the case.
I would be, by the pure fact that that should not be Georgia with more penalties. We'll see if it's due to the carryover from Punzenberger. There is only one other man in the box with Punzenberger, and that looks like
Ryan Bailey. I think they're going to call offsetting on Bailey and I think Willoughby Ray after the shot from Strauss, or the shot that hit Strauss's arm, and Bailey is the one who took him to the ground.
Yeah, mention always the passing lanes and how this could be a good opportunity for Georgia. Likely should have been better. But, Michigan chance.
Lazzaro's trying to pick it up on his stick. Getting a little bit of space out there, a little extra space out there, Joe. Let's try something different like that. Didn't work out for him that time as Newbold turns that shot aside. 45 seconds left on the 5-minute major to Punzenberger. The Ice Dawgs will have a very short power play at the tail end of this 4-on-4.
I got about 48 seconds, but not a math major.
Quick math there from our man Joe Kopsho.
If I'm right, I'm going to be so happy.
Here's Mazzaros in the corner, up top for Hagen. Takes the shot, that one right into the glove of Dink, and he will squeeze it.
So after all that, we're going to just have 4-on-4 and then a little bit longer of a power play than Auburn had on their short one earlier. I think Bailey is having a little trouble with his mask. And Steve Beneke is not there to help this time as he's been tossed. Benny deserved at least that good old-fashioned baseball toss where the ref was real good about it. Instead, didn't happen.
There's a save by Dank on a rolling puck off the stick of Parente. Conway's got it, walking into the high slot. Parente with a shot, saved by Dank as he flashes the leather.
Newbold had a great save earlier. Dank might have just one-upped him with the leather as he's full split to be able to get that momentum in his arm to throw that back out there. That's like when there's a line drive to the shortstop, Torin, where he fully extends. Dank, we've known he's good with his glove. The Dogs have tried to beat him short side on the blocker. There you can see proofs why the Dogs have been doing that.
So Georgia back to full strength as Punzenberger exits the box. They'll have 42 seconds left on the power play.
You said that 3 seconds late. It was 45.
Close enough, Joe. Here's Conway with it. Sneaks it back door, looking for Poole in that same spot he was in before. But he couldn't handle that pass. A little too much heat on it that time. Conway gets it back, though. Back to the point. Here's Gannon. Takes the shot, looking for the screen in front is Hedquist, trying to get a stick on it. But Dink comes up with the save. Another face-off inside the Auburn zone.
Yeah, Hedquist tried to throw the stick at it and couldn't get any part of the twig, so just found its way into Dank. Although a good screen out in front. Dank just positioned himself exactly where you need to be with a shot from the point. It's where it went into the breadbasket.
So the face-off to the right of Dank with 19 seconds left on the penalty to Willoughby Ray. And the face-off is won by the Tigers. There's a huge check by Conway as he lays a man out. Here's Gannon on the point, takes the shot. That one tipped aside by Avery. And Auburn looking for a penalty on that hit from Conway. No dice, though, as this one goes cross ice for him. Conway centering pass to Poole. Takes the shot. That one tipped again over the goal as Auburn is back to full strength.
And now George is going to look for a penalty on Hedquist as he was thrown to the ice. And they're a little more loud, of course, being more than the Auburn fans.
Here's Gannon walking in. Takes the shot. Saved by Dink. I think he got the glove on it as that one was labeled for the short side. Here's a 2-on-1 back the other way for the Tigers. Willoughby Ray, fresh out of the box, sneaks it in front for Daly. That one goes off the side of the goal. There's a shot from behind the goal from Willoughby Ray, and that one chopped at and out of play. So a couple of sequences there, Joe, on both ends of the ice, as Bailey and Lange will leave the box now.
Yeah, we've been treated to some interesting hockey.
Interesting
at the very least. And Auburn was arguing for a call as Conway laid out his man, and then Hedquist was taken down from behind as he hit the ice. I think Conway's was a little cleaner than Hedquist, but good job by the refs. If you're not going to call one, don't call the other, I suppose.
Stripes letting them play here, as this one's played out to center but fired right back in by Patillo. Here's Burnett with it. Off the boards, but punched right back in by Willoughby Ray. Stewart picks it up, though. Up the boards, he's got Adler. Eberle streaking. He's got it in front. A good stick by Willoughby Ray breaks it up, though. Adler quick to it in the corner. Eberle up top. Burnett's got it. Takes the shot. Looking for the tip in front was Adler. He got the stick on it, but put it right into the pad of Dank. And here comes Lange back the other way. Just shoots that one right into the glove of Newbold, and he will hold on to it. With 3:59 left to go in the second, Auburn still leads the Ice Dawgs 4-2. And a face-off upcoming in the Georgia zone.
I think the least I can say, Torin, is this is going to be a last very good 24 minutes. It's going to be interesting as we reach the conclusion and peak of this one.
Off the tie-up, Martin comes away with it for Georgia. Here's Adler on the wrap around the boards. He'll skate through center and dump it into the near corner. Chasing it is Stewart. Hard on the forecheck, Tyler Stewart. Chipped off the boards, but kept in by Hagen. Here's Eberle on the line, sneaks it over to Stewart. High slot, takes the shot, scores! Tyler Stewart, the monkey off the back, and he cuts the lead to just 1.
And what a sequence of events for your first goal. What a job to keep the line by Eberle and then somehow saucer that backhand through much traffic. And Stewart, that's where the power of the shot comes in. 1-0, just Dank, and he just beats him with all the power in the world.
He gets these grade A chances a lot, Joe, and he just gets some unlucky bounces. And that one was a rolling puck that just kind of found its way through the 5-hole of Dank, who has been very airtight in this one. As there's a turnover, that one shot into the netting. So some puck luck the other way for Georgia, and it's Tyler Stewart with his first goal as an Ice Dawg. And no better time to come up with your first to cut the lead to just 1 with 3:30 left to go here in the second period.
Yeah, you're right. I thought he had powered that in, but he had hit it hard and just missed it. But when you can hit it that hard, when you can force a shot that hard, Dank has to react immediately. Because maybe it didn't come off as hard as we thought it would, Dank had to react and then got 5-holed.
That shot from the point turned aside by Newbold. The Tigers with some good zone pressure following the Georgia goal. And this Tigers team just doesn't go away, Joe. So they are right back on the forecheck, but the Dogs able to break this one out. Here's Mazzaros down the right wing side. Takes the shot through the crease there as it's punched back in by Poole. Fired on goal. That one tipped off the side of the net by Mazzaros. And Willoughby Ray collects it as the Tigers will start the rush here. Loses the puck at the blue line, and that will be icing intentional offsides. Should be all the way down.
It should be, as you're exactly right. Willoughby Ray even looked and knew that he had committed that, so not only did he play it off, he did it right in front of the man lifting his arm up.
So the face-off to the right of Dank.
And now if you're Georgia, you've had a good period. You're positive in this period. Cut the deficit to 1. If you can tie it up or even get ahead, you're feeling good about yourselves.
Here's Hedquist behind the net. Good forecheck here for this Georgia second line. First line, sorry about that. Here's Hedquist in the corner. Looking down low for Parente at the back door. But it was tipped by an Auburn player. Conway with a shot. Didn't get a hold of it, though, as Hedquist with a whack right in front of Dank. Loose puck, though. No contest from the Tigers here.
Yeah, that one had knuckleballed its way to Dank, so he wasn't able to cover. So Hedquist was free, and just because it was knuckleballing, couldn't make any contact. So, Torin, at what point do the Ice Dawgs maybe give their change of momentum to Benny being thrown out?
I don't know, but it's been kind of all Georgia since then.
He's an important part of this team.
He fired up the bench when he left, too, so. I want to go back to that shot just there from Head because that was labeled for the top left corner. I think it was just tipped high on its way to the goal. Auburn's done a great job of finding the shooting lanes and just kind of getting sticks and bodies in there and just kind of throwing these shots from Georgia off just a little bit, enough to keep them behind in this one. As the Tigers get set up here on the breakout. Nice pass over to Daly. Able to stretch out to stay on sides was Fleet. Daly with a shot. That one goes high. Newbold looked a bit off his angle there. Here's Conway with a nice play to stretch out and get that puck. He's got Parente back door. Conway looking for Parente. The pass just over his stick. And here come the Tigers back the other way. Here's Jake Fleet. He's got Daly on the blue line. Walking in, shoots. He scores! Callan Daly sneaks one under the glove of Newbold. And the Tigers lead 5-3.
Yeah, and that's certainly not what you wanted. We mentioned you're fighting to get back into this one. If you can even it up before the third, you'd be in a good spot. Instead, Auburn adds another one. We mentioned can't give Daly space. Top point scorer on this team. And I wonder, Coach Camp raising his hands. I thought Daly could have been off. We'll see in the replay.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. It looked just a little bit offsides.
The replay doesn't show it too well as Daly was on the near side, but the way he's positioned back to Newbold, you rarely receive the puck like that Close call, but Daly makes it work for him with an excellent finish.
So Georgia down 2 again. Here's Tyler Stewart with it. Plays it through center to Eberle. Across the red line and into the Auburn zone now. Adler gets a kick on that one, plays it down to the corner. Eberle at the side of the goal, trying to chop at it and put it in front, but a good stick by Duchemin breaks that up. Here's Patillo back with it for the Tigers. Off the boards, back to Duchemin. Laid out through center. Nice poke there. Newbold way out of his goal and a wide open net for Runchi. As Newbold took the gamble, but the Tigers win that one. And it's 6-3 Auburn.
Yeah, just a bad decision by Newbold there. He was left out to dry. You have to make that decision really quick, and all of a sudden the momentum has gone back the complete other way. Now this period, you're negative, down 3. You see Newbold dive for it, can't come up with anything. And Auburn with under a minute in the second with a big 6-3 lead. And it's like the air was almost taken out of Georgia when they perhaps thought Daly was offside and have let it get to them and just are mentally in a bad place right now.
Willoughby Ray with it. Plays that one out to center. 2 quick goals for Auburn there. Puts them ahead by 3 once again. Second time they've led by 3 tonight. We said we hadn't seen that from Georgia this season. Here's Stewart looking for Adler, misses the mark, and it's punched right back in. Here's Avery with it down the left wing side for Georgia. Takes the shot, blockered by Newbold, rebound loose in front, cleared by Burnett, and Newbold scrambles to fall on it. Little shove from Burnett at the whistle.
And Auburn fans upset at the late shove. I think almost every attendee of this late game Torin is not exactly happy with how the Zebras have played this one, as it's hard when it's been as physical of a game as it's been. Can't exactly blame them when we've mentioned some of the most interesting hockey we've seen all season with some of the things that have occurred.
Face-off won by Avery. Played to the boards by Patillo. 15 seconds left in the period. Pats takes down Hagen. Here's Bailey with it, trying to get it out. Fired off the boards by Mazzaros. Punzenberger racing to it. Denk there to play it. 2 seconds left in the period, and that will do it for the second. So after 40, it's 6-3 Tigers. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll see you right back here for third period action. between periods, our very own Ren Grimsley caught up with Ice Dawgs forward Sam Adler in the Ren zone.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ren Grimsley. I'm here with Sam Adler. Sam, you haven't really been in this position before. What's the message in the locker room right now?
Well, it's one of those, if we're going to go the places we want to go this year, we're going to have to come back like this. There's going to be games we're down a few goals heading into the third, and we're going to have to find a way to win that. So it's a good opportunity to do it now in the regular season before the playoffs.
Absolutely. Thank you. Good luck out there in the third, man.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the ice in Cumming, Georgia, where the Auburn Tigers currently lead the Ice Dawgs 6-3 after 2 periods. Joe, would you do us a favor and take us back to the second period recap?
Yeah, it was a rough one for the Ice Dawgs after they had a good start. It all started with the Tigers, though, as Sam Catalano got the assist from Patillo and was able to get his second of the night, the second with that pairing. Then the Ice Dawgs responded with 2 straight. Of course, Tyler Stewart was the second one, and Poole got that excellent feed from Conway for the first. But then the Tigers answered right back as Jake Fleet picked up his hat trick. And then one more unassisted as Newbold tried to come out on Runchi and was unsuccessful when he was easily able to put it in after that. And speaking of Newbold, he's going to get a little bit of a breather as Ryan Testino will play the last 20 minutes.
So a goaltending change for the Ice Dawgs. We mentioned, Joe, the Ice Dawgs have only given up 6 goals one other time this year, and that was on their New York trip against Quinnipiac, and that was an overtime game. So this is the first time, this is the most goals the Ice Dawgs have given up in regulation this season.
Yeah, it was an overtime loss, so that 6th goal was the game winner. And the last one of the game, hopefully that 6th one for the Tigers, if you're an Ice Dawgs fan, was their last one of the game as they try and mount this comeback. This has just been an excellent team defensively all year. It started with the goalies, of course, as between Newbold and Testino, they were sitting around under 2 goals, or just over 2 goals a game with a .920 save percentage. But also the defense was helping them out. 2.16 goals per game. That will win you a lot of games, but this one just blown out of the water.
So it's the second line out to start for Coach Camp and the Ice Dawgs as they look to get on the board early with a 3-goal mountain to climb here in the last 20 minutes of regulation.
And as we have a little bit of a ref discussion here, both teams will just...
They're waiting on the other... Oh, no, they're not. I miscounted the officials.
All those black and white stripes can run together sometimes. But it looks like Ken Radulitsky is leading the discussion, as I think it's something to do with the scorekeepers, actually. I think someone was running behind, but we're finally ready to go.
The Ice Dawgs bench on their feet, looking to come back in this one, and the Tigers looking to hold on to this 3-goal lead. And we are go for third period action. Auburn quickly in on the forecheck. That shot off the side of the goal. As the Tigers come up with it, Daly able to get it up to the point. Here's Mazzaros firing one over for Bailey. Couldn't get a stick on it, and this one will go for icing on the Dogs.
Yeah, close to Bailey, but couldn't hit the tape. Mentioned earlier how important this is for the Tigers. Right now, they're last in Division I at 9-8-1, but they're only 2 points behind Bama. So a win here, Torin, and they're comfortably in that 4th seed. Well, a little uncomfortably, as plenty of games to go with Bama as well. but they'd be in the playoffs, and of course they'd be scheduled for a matchup against the Ice Dawgs. Plenty of games left, but that's how this could play out.
There's Punzenberger with it in the corner for Georgia. Mazzaros there. Down low, here's Bailey. He hasn't been held scoreless yet as an Ice Dawg, but he has been to this point tonight.
Yeah, 5 goals in 4 games to start his Ice Dawgs career.
Here come the Tigers. Willoughby Ray picks it up through center ice. He'll skate it across the blue line, drops it off. There's a shot from Fleet, looking for his 4th of the game, but it just goes high over the blocker of Testino. Strauss picks it up behind the goal. Here's Leighton Poole with it, and he'll start the rush for Georgia. Poole through center, steps around Daly. Leighton Poole trying to get through Henderson, but a good stick by the Tigers defender keeps him to the outside. Punzenberger able to hold the line, though. Mazzaros drops it back off for him. Dylan Punzenberger on the half wall. He stood up. And here come the Tigers back the other way. Here's Callan Daly with speed. Tries to step around Gannon, but he's taken to the boards. Good play by Gannon to keep him to the outside.
Yeah, smart play to play back on Daly. We've seen his explosions of speed. Using his small frame, he's able to duck past defenders there. Gannon makes sure to sit back, play him to the outside.
Here's Hedquist down the left wing for Georgia, trying to play it back behind Henderson for Parente, but it's picked off and played back out to center. Gannon will fire this one into the far corner for Georgia. Parente on the half wall, trying to pass it off for somebody, but it's taken away by the Tigers and cleared the length of the ice. This one will be icing on the Tigers as Burnett's the first man back for Georgia.
And no change allowed on... Oh. Some Tiger snuck in, but that one might have been from the change they tried to pull off. And there was a discussion and
a penalty coming up here on the Dogs. Bench minor. It's going to be Captain Robbie Whitwer headed to the box for Georgia. He was having words with referee Ken Radolinski.
And now he's off the ice for slamming the door in the box, and that is going to be... I think Whitwer hopes the flame that inspires these Dogs, but when you're down 3 goals, it's going to be hard to play like this. What'd you see there, Torin? It just looked like Robbie was getting into it after the icing call.
It was kind of a long discussion there, Joe. I mean, of course, we can't hear what they're saying, but
I think the right call was to send into the box. I don't know what he said. Sending him off for closing the door is...
He threw his stick, too, though.
It's going to go down as funny, at the very least.
I'm sure Robbie will disagree with you there, Joe.
Funny for the viewers. So 2-minute power play for Auburn as Spicer will serve for Robbie Whitwer.
So Auburn back to the power play, 1 for 3 tonight.
Torin, sometimes the only thing you can do is laugh.
Here's a chance. Burnett's got some space. He'll walk it to the outside, but just dump it to the near corner instead of taking it to the net. The speedy penalty killers in Conway and Parente out there for Georgia. Here's Burnett with it shorthanded at the point. Takes the shot. That one tipped on the way to the goal, but turned aside by Dink. Parente couldn't come up with the puck, and Daly will start the rush on the man advantage for the Tigers, but not before Gannon gets a stick on it. Conway plays it down low. Parente centering pass for Gannon out in front. Saved by Dink as he stretches the pad out. What a read by Dink as Conway hauls Daly down to the ice, and we're going to get another penalty here on the Dogs.
One of the most obvious penalties you'll ever see. As Conway not only held him, he finished it and threw him to the ground.
And that's just a bad penalty to take there. That's frustration from the Georgia side, boiling over.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's just frustration. As Dink made a good save, and I think that finished off how Conway is feeling, as you can see there, just went too far with it.
Not much of an argument there to be made for Georgia.
And you would think it was just, as I said, Conway there was an open chance in the front of the net. Dink makes another amazing save, and after you see your captain thrown out, everything feels like it's going poorly. That's what happens.
So 5-on-3 for just over a minute for the Tigers. And they will look to add another one to this big lead they've got here in the third period. With a chance to put the game away here. Bay down low. He's got Duchman, but mishandles the pass as it's taken in behind the net. Duchman still with it. Plays it up for Daly. At the point, Daly across a Patillo, back to Daly. Takes the shot. Saved by Testino as that one was deflected in the in the low slot, rather.
Yeah, kicked off Bill Martin's skate. Good save by Testino.
Here's Daly again. A drive by Patillo. That one blocked. I believe it goes off the stick of Mazzaros that time. Runchi able to come up with it behind the net. Up top for Daly once again. Patillo fakes a shot back to Daly. Fans on that one as it goes to the corner. Tried the one-timer there. 12 seconds left on the penalty to Whitwer. Spicer serving, like you said, Joe. As he's standing up in the box. Here's Daly with a wide-open look to the net. That one goes high over the shoulder of Testino. And Spicer is back out. So 5-on-4 here for 50 seconds. As the Tigers regroup here on the power play, they'll get a wholesale change on the man advantage.
Yeah, and if you're an Ice Dawgs fan, you're just hoping this builds momentum for this Georgia team. If they can kill off 30 more seconds, got to try and parlay that into 3 goals at least.
And it wasn't a bad start for Georgia until they took that penalty. And even then, shorthanded on the first penalty before Conway took his. They had some momentum on the penalty kill. So, like you said, Joe, if they can kill these last 15 seconds off, they've got a chance at coming back with some momentum. As Poole's got Spicer in front, a save by Denk again as he pushes across. Great lateral movement all night from Denk as he comes up big once again down low.
Yeah, that was just another amazing save by Denk. That maybe is 2 with any other goalie in the College Hockey South. 2 goals you would expect maybe on the board as he kicks across and makes a great save. I'm sure Testino and Newbold will even give Denk credit after this one, as he's been nothing short of amazing. But a shorthanded opportunity there, maybe it builds something.
So Conway out of the box now. We are back to even strength as Poole tries to rim it around the boards as Conway was leaving the box. But it's kept in by Avery. Conway down low, picks that one up. Looking up ice for Hedquist. He skies it all the way down. And Hedquist will beat out the icing. Parente gets there in the corner, trying to center it for Hedquist. Shot at the side of the goal, weakly in on Denk, and he will cover that one up and get a face-off in his defensive zone.
Another one that made its way to Denk, where he's just stood strong. All he's done is really sit in that slot and amaze us the entire night. Just fundamental goalkeeping. We mentioned that earlier, Denk 80 for 87 in the earlier series, an amazing percentage, .920.
Face off to the right of Denk, won by Conway as Hedquist fans on the shot off the face-off. This one will be cleared all the way down for icing on the Tigers.
Fans here very upset with how this one has gone.
I don't know, Joe. It sounds like they're cheering for the refs now, saying great call.
Refs always get the downside, none of the good, huh? No one ever goes, hey, ref, good call.
Conway and Avery lining up for the draw inside Auburn territory, and it's snapped back by Avery. As Conway goes down, I think he took a stick up high.
It looked like a high stick.
Slow to get up as that one goes into the Georgia bench. He's actually putting no weight on his left leg, Conway.
You'll have to watch on your own replay there, Torin. See if we can catch it. It was on the back end of the play, so don't think we fully got it.
It was right off the face-off. He just kind of got tied up weird. I think he fell on it a little sideways.
It looked like he tried to do his step through and just got upended. You know, weird freak fall. We'll see.
Yeah, his ankle kind of twisted back.
Yeah, we'll see if he's okay, and maybe with the score and the time left, we don't see him too much more tonight unless he's feeling all right.
That one cleared out to center ice by the Tigers and fired back in by Gannon. Georgia touches up to get on sides. Sparago tips that one out to center ice, and Georgia will chase it. No icing. Gannon back to play it. Up the boards for Adler. He'll settle it. Fired across for Burnett. Across the red line, Stewart's got it. Trying to step around the Auburn defender. Pakuris goes down. Stewart trying to play it to the net, but it bounces off. And the Tigers come back the other way. Here's Patillo trying to split the D. A good step by Gannon to knock him off his balance, and Testino plays it to the corner. Puck bounces straight up in the air, but the Tigers able to hold the zone. Not this time, though, as it goes up into the netting. The faceoff will stay inside Georgia territory as it went off of an Ice Dawgs stick. 13-18 left to go here in regulation. Georgia still trails by 3.
And you don't want to let your mind wander to tomorrow, as it's getting obviously late here and late in this game with the big deficit. But Georgia hopes to come out a little bit stronger tomorrow, as this has likely been their worst performance of the year so far. Mentioned never let up 6 goals before, except in the overtime loss to Quinnipiac.
I would say worst performance, second only. Here's Punzenberger with a chance. On Denk, save again by the Auburn netminder. Loose puck as it's squeezed under the glove. Hagen with it, trying to hold the line, and it's cleared out to center. I was going to say second only to the first Auburn game that this Georgia team lost, as they came out really flat in that one in Columbus, Georgia. Here's a centering pass. Bailey's got it. Tapped back to Mazzaros, trying to return it to Bailey. One too many passes for the Ice Dawgs, though, as it comes back out to center. Here's Bay with it for the Tigers. Chuck Bay looking for the pass off to his partner, but it's cleared by Hagen.
There's a couple candidates for games that the Ice Dawgs played that they didn't show out like they wanted. Of course, in Quinnipiac, they had a big lead that they would end up losing. But this is certainly up there, as almost every facet of the game just hasn't gone the way they wanted it to.
And that's a good defensive play there by Martin to step up. A good read to take away that chance, as there was a Auburn player stuck in behind the D there. Georgia trying to get something going here out of their own zone. Bill Martin back with it. Looking up ice, fires across for Hagen. That pass tipped through center by Lange. Conway trying to chop it around Henderson, but couldn't get it through as Hagen fires this one in deep, and the Ice Dawgs get a change. Testino out of his net to play it. Hasn't been tested much in the third here.
Yeah,
Auburn just trying to defend their lead. Sorry, Joe.
The Dogs have played well when they haven't been on the penalty kill, and even when they were, it was great penalty killing. But I think you're right. Auburn has perhaps taken the foot off the gas, trying to come out of this one with a win anyway. How?
Here's Daly with some speed, 1-on-4 as he's taken down by Strauss. Good defensive play. Conway laying out for it, but Willoughby Ray gets a stick on it. Takes the check from Parente, but keeps it as it's laid into the zone. Fleet and Daly digging for it with Strauss. Hedquist gets a stick on it, punches it. As that one's fired off the glass, that almost came up and hit our camera here.
If that one was a couple inches higher, would have been out of some good money, Torin, on this camera.
Would have been an expensive accident. Here's Parente driving the net. Save by Denk. Rebound save again by Denk, and he'll cover that one up. Joe, it feels like Georgia just has no sense of urgency here in this third. A couple of deflating penalties, and they've just kind of lost any momentum that they had.
Yeah, you don't really want to say it as a team broadcaster, but the way they're playing, it's just like the balloon's deflated. There's nothing left. It's both mentally just gone now and physically gone due to just the belief that they're out of it. When you had 20 minutes to score 3 and it's cut in half, but a good reason you feel like you're not in it is because you haven't been trying as hard as you know you can.
We've said it all year that Georgia's a third-period team. They've had a lot of late comebacks, just out-skating teams, defending leads in the third period, but we're not seeing that same team out there tonight.
Even last weekend.
There's a chance. Blockered aside by Denk. Rebound clear to the boards, but not out. Here's a shot from Burnett. Finds its way through, but it's turned aside by Denk once again. Stewart takes his man to the boards. It's cleared up to the point, but not out again. Burnett fires it down low. Here's Adler with it. Shakes off the check. Turnaround shot. That one in behind the net. Couldn't hit the goal as Burnett able to keep the line once again. Good zone pressure here for Georgia, and Pats kind of sells that one a little bit, I think, as Eberle's going to go to the box. And maybe a little more than a high stick for him.
I think you're right. I think Pats is getting the benefit of the call, especially because the call came all the way in from the back here. Maybe the worst person to see it called it. But there's also an element, of course, of...
It looked like his own stick that hit him in the face that time.
Well, Torin, it looks like both are going to go to the box. And it's actually Ian McKenzie. I don't think it's Pats. So Torin's watching it for the first time in the replay. We'll show it to you all for the first time.
So I really lifted the stick of Pat's, and it just came up and hit himself in the face.
Yeah, it was a good stick lift and an unfortunate call that'll be offsetting. So 4-on-4 hockey, this could help Georgia. We mentioned how kind of close these teams are in play style. They both like to be aggressive, so we'll see if it works with Georgia here.
Georgia trying to get some puck movement as Gannon floats that one to the corner. Burnett chasing. He's got Mazzaros down low. Gannon out in front, makes a move, and he scores! Jack Gannon alone in front, and he finds the back of the net and cuts the lead to just 2 with 9:28 left in the third.
And that was the mention. If you could do that earlier in this period, you would be really inflated. You have to hope that goal does what it needs to do in driving the momentum for this team and making them think, hey, we got this. You're still in it. And a great goal by Gannon. That was one of the first times, Torin, where there's been a pass in the slot and it's finally been converted and got past Dank. As you can see, unfortunately, missed that replay.
And Dank and the Tigers with a little bit of an argument at the end of the play there. As here's a chance. Martin streaking to the net, walking in, and a save by Dank. That one looked close. Martin had an angle. But I was saying the Tigers were arguing that one as they believed that Dank was interfered with. But if you look back at the replay, or if you rewind it yourselves at home, it was Runchi that put Gannon into the goalie. Here's a chance for Georgia now as they turn back up ice. Bill Martin with it, drops it off for Hagen. High slot, takes the shot, glove save by Dank. Another good glove save as he flashes the leather once again.
And if you feel like it feels like if Dank was just a little more average of a goalie, the Dogs maybe would have 8 or 9 up on the board. As you can see here, good rush, great passing back to Haugen, and Haugen rips one. He gets taken out at the end. So got one away, and he'll head to the bench. Hopefully his knees are all right, as it looks like a linebacker coming in. But he was able to rip one, and Dank was able to throw that glove out there. I think that one was going for post, Torin, and in. But Dank stopped it.
There's a big hit from Conway right in front of the Auburn bench. And Daly holding onto the stick. That's going to be an Ice Dawgs power play.
Oh, Conway and Parente need to stay out of it. This is what you need. Don't send yourself to the box. You want this power play.
You are absolutely right, Joe.
I got scared because Conway did a little waving.
Well, Conway pulled Parente back. He was right in the face of Daly.
I was going to say I got scared because Conway was waving, and then Parente almost made sure someone got sent to the box instead. This will be a full 2 minutes.
And this is a good chance.
And it's going to be a 4-on-3.
4-on-3.
For a minute and 2, and then 5-on-4 for the rest of the 58.
Poole, Gannon, Parente, and Conway, 4 of the Ice Dogs' best puck movers out there on this power play.
And you feel like if you get this one in, you're in it for the rest of the game.
Here's Gannon on the point. Passes it down low for Poole. Cross ice, Conway couldn't settle it. Regains control around the outside. Slides across for Poole. Corrals it, shoots it on goal. That one bounced off of an Auburn player. Dank's scrambling shot goes up into the netting. I think Dank might have got a piece of that as he's talking to the referee once again. But that was, again, it was Auburn players that knocked him over in the crease. So I don't know what they're arguing down there.
Yeah, again, and it has to hurt as a goalie because you don't like being pushed over. And Conway tried to take advantage of the sprawling Dank, but just missed high as it likely got tipped. Looked like someone got a piece of it.
And this one will be cleared the length of the ice for the Tigers. So 30 seconds left on the offsetting penalties to Eberle and McKenzie. Here comes Poole, skating through center, steps around Avery. Leighton Poole drops it to the corner. Goes behind the net, still with control, plays it up top for Conway. Walking in, drops it off for Gannon. Down low, he's got Poole at the side of the net, trying to shoot it on the far side. A good save by Dank. Back up to the point. Here's Gannon once again. Takes the shot. That one high and wide. Off the end boards. Georgia comes up with it. Gannon steps around Avery. Down the half wall. He's got Parente streaking to the net. Trying to sneak it across for Conway, but it's picked off. And Patillo able to skate this one out to center. And a smart play to dump that to the near corner.
Good job by Testino to settle that down. Dogs need to look to break out.
So the offsetting penalties expire. We were at 5 on 4 rather, for 45 more seconds. As Conway stepping to the middle, walking to the net, saved by Dink, loose in front, clear to the boards. And Willoughby Ray will chip it up, but not enough to go all the way down to the Georgia zone as it's just out to center. Gannon tripped up Lange a little bit. Probably should have been a penalty to the Ice Dawgs. A lucky break there as this one's chopped over to Parente. 20 seconds left on the man advantage. Shot tipped at the point, and it goes wide. Poole settles it. He'll fire it down the wall. Gannon trying to cut it to the net. Down low, Parente couldn't get a stick on it as Gannon just fired it towards the net. Hedquist goes down in front looking for a call. 5 seconds left on the man advantage. And Daly is back on the ice. There's a shot. That one tipped wide. Eberle down low as we are back to even strength. Up top, Poole's got it. Barely keeps it on sides, but he pulls it back anyway.
Yeah, he wasn't sure. Better to be safe than sorry.
Here's Gannon walking into the slot. Poke check, but he keeps control of it. There's Hedquist down low looking for the tip. I think that actually went off of a Tiger stick, almost on goal. Gannon, nice play to hold the line there. Digging forward is Bay. Hedquist in to help out. Eberle trying to shoot it across. No one there for him as Poole is back trying to get a change. Here's Chuck Bay muscling it towards the net. He'll take Poole to the wall. And Georgia now, we said not a sense of urgency before, but we're starting to see it a little bit here, Joe.
Yeah, and a couple great chances on the power play that just couldn't be converted.
Here's Adler on the half wall looking to the net. Cuts it down low in behind the goal. Sam Adler out in front. He's got Martin with a shot. Saved by Dink with the blocker. And it goes up and out of play. A great chance for Bill Martin right at the top of the slot, but Dink comes up big once again.
Yeah, Dink is doing an excellent job, and we're going to go back to an earlier replay here as Dink made a great save there. Here you see the re-entry into the zone. Gannon trying to step around it. This one just goes wide off the stick of an Auburn Tiger. Didn't hit post, but was as close as you perhaps can get without clanging on the metal.
Good keep by Stewart at the line as the door pops open in the Auburn zone.
That feels poetic for this one. Haven't seen that all season, but that's about right for how this one has gone.
So face-off just outside of the Tigers zone.
And you have to hope that the Ice Dawgs can break through here, as they've had so many good chances that just haven't been converted. We've mentioned this entire game. It's been a game of inches for them.
Here's Avery with a step, trying to get around Stewart, who hauls him down. No call on the play. Good defensive play from Stewart. As that pass intended for Adler was tipped, Patillo will fire that one back in. It was tipped into the zone, no icing. Just over 5 minutes left to go here in the third period. Auburn up by 2. But Georgia with all the momentum right now. Here's Eberle through center ice. David Eberle stepping through. Drops it off for Adler. Takes the shot. Saved by Dink. And he covers up the rebound, but it's poked loose. And this one skied out to center once again. Poole corrals it at center ice across the red line. He steps around Willoughby Ray. Good check there by 17 in blue to take that puck away from Poole, though, as this one's chipped back out to center.
Yeah, and great skating by Eberle through neutral ice, and a great pass to Adler. Not sure how he even got it through, but again, just doesn't result barely in a point on the board.
Here's Alex Strauss, takes the check from Willoughby Ray. Punzenberger comes up with it for Georgia, though. Back up to the point, here's Poole. Walking the line, takes the shot, looking for a tip. That one bounced off of Lange in traffic. Here's Strauss once again. A drive by Poole, blocked once again by Lange, and up into the netting as the Auburn bench with some taps for their captain for that shot block.
Yeah, their captain's been everywhere tonight, all over the defensive side of the ice. He's been making his presence felt on that line with him and Fleet and Daly that have been big point scorers, and he's even set the mood a couple times with his physicality and maybe even spending some time in the sin bin.
Face off to the right of Dink. Bailey trying to step through on the face-off. Off the tie-up. Punzenberger comes away with it. Tip in front, loose, and Dink just barely squeezes the legs as that puck was tipped through the 5-hole.
I am not sure at all how Dank got that one. He didn't see it clearly, but not his fault, as there was a man screening out in front, and it got tipped. And the way it tipped, it went off him and then looked like it was destined to go through his legs. You can see him react there.
Squeezes the feet together to keep that one.
He snapped out and then snapped back in because the rebound looked like it was going to go knuckle off him. Instead, came right back on him.
So this one will go for icing on the Tigers.
And now just 4 minutes left in this one. You feel like the Ice Dawgs have to dig deep again. You thought maybe with the power play opportunity, they'd at least like where they were a little bit. They're going to be on the short end of the stick and have to have something miraculous almost happen.
Stranger things have happened, Joe, especially this season. We've seen the Ice Dawgs win a game in the final minutes.
Especially in club hockey.
Face off one back to Strauss. He's got a shot. That one tipped again. Dink able to fight that one off as it's fired around the board. Strauss able to keep the line. Second chance cleared, but kept in again by Conway. The third chance does find center ice. So Georgia forced to touch up. Nice move by Hedquist inside his own blue line. Trying to play it up for Parente, but it's turned over. And Duchman's got a step, trying to get around Hedquist and just punch it in deep. Smart play to kill off some time here, as the Tigers just defending this 2-goal lead late in this third period.
Yeah, and plenty of credit to them, as they've done well defensively, haven't turned on the Jets offensively, but have just been able to play this period out and only allowed one. And that was on Jack Gannon, just on Dank.
Here's Leighton Poole starting the rush here for Georgia. Gannon up the left wing side. He'll dump that one to the near corner. Parente around the other side. First man to the puck looking to center it, but that one bounces off a Tigers player. Cleared to the point. Burnett's got it. Down low, Conway on the half wall. Fired out in front, but it's picked off by the Tigers and cleared back to center ice. 2:50 left to go in regulation.
And these games always mean more at the end of the season. We'll see how this one closes out with so much on the line for the Tigers.
Gannon in the corner, trying to drop it off for Conway. Fired across, but that one's blocked. He was looking for Adler back door. We'll keep an eye on Testino back in the Georgia zone as Gannon tries to center that one. Over to Conway, takes the shot right into the chest of Dink. Loose puck in front. Conway gets it again, shoots that one just wide as he tried to sneak it against the grain. And this one's cleared for icing on the Tigers.
And this might be where we expect Testino to come out and a perhaps timeout to draw up the face-off plan.
There it is. Campy calls the timeout there. With 2:16 left in the third.
The refs haven't acknowledged it.
He was signaling it, but
they're going to take Testino out, though, so they'll have 6 men on this draw. I think he was just trying to get a quick timeout.
There it is.
And there we go. So let's go back to that replay on that last opportunity. Again, Dank stands strong. And I thought this was going to be put in on the second chance. You could see cutting across the middle, just kind of turnaround shot, and it just goes wide again. Dank on the season, just under a 900 save percentage, pretty good. But if he has 3 gears, he kicks it up to 18th gear whenever he's playing Georgia. 920 save percentage this first 2 meetings, and here I would say his save percentage is well above what it needed to be, especially if you're an Ice Dawgs fan. So we'll take a short break as this timeout finishes it up, and then we'll have the last 2 minutes of this game, barring overtime.
So face off to the right of Dink with 2:16 left in regulation. Ice Dawgs net is empty. 6 skaters on for the Georgia team as they win the face off but Lange clearing it, kept in by Mazzaros at the boards. And the second clearing attempt does go all the way down just wide of the open cage. And Gannon able to beat the icing there.
That one was so close. Good job by Mazzaros on the original keep. He kind of read the Tiger before I think even he knew what he was doing. As Mazzaros just threw himself at the boards to try and catch that puck in his jersey. Testino will remain out, of course, so we'll see another six-man draw as the Dogs try and figure out, as there's mass miscommunication here. Mazzaros will head off, and it will be the starters from tonight.
So another face-off to the left of Denk. It's Conway and Fleet. Face-off won by the Tigers. Conway comes up with it, but turns it over in the slot. And it's skied all the way down to the Georgia zone. Not enough for icing, though. Poole takes a whack at it. He's got Gannon. Hits Bailey in stride through center. Ryan Bailey with the shot. That one off of the skate of Willoughby Ray and out of play. So another face-off inside the Auburn zone.
So the first face-off, Georgia won as Mazzaros tried to step through. That didn't work as the Tigers were able to get a turnover. Last one, the Tigers won. We'll see the outcome of this.
Face-off won by Conway. Bailey drops it off for Poole. Lange quickly up at the point, so Poole forced to just chop it into the zone. 1:41 left on the clock. Conway up top for Gannon. Fumbles the pass, but able to keep it in the zone. Here's Poole. Cross ice. He's got Conway. Shooting it in front. That one tipped wide into the corner. Conway in behind the goal once again. Takes the pass from Bailey. Up to the point. He's got Poole. Poole walks the line. Looking for a lane over to Conway. At the blue line, drops it off for Bailey. Takes the shot right into the glove of Denk once again. If you're trying to beat him here in the final minutes, that's not the place to do it, as he's flashed the leather a few times tonight.
And that's not the place to do it on Denk. That was almost perfectly placed. That looked like it was going just for that top corner, but Denk flagged it down.
So another offensive zone draw for the Dogs. This one cleared by the Tigers, and it might be enough for icing. It is. Gannon able to beat out Pats. So 1:07 left on the clock. Georgia's still trailing by 2.
And they've got to get a face-off win. They only had one of these last 4 with 6 skaters on that was clean. As we'll have a timeout here.
Timeout for the Tigers following the icing.
And credit to the Tigers. This has been an excellent stand, really, this whole third period, but this last minute, they've kind of had a clinic going here, Torin.
Yeah, defending this lead, just trying to keep it to the outside, not letting Georgia get a lot of chances through the middle. Georgia just trying to get the puck to the net here. But like you said, not able to win any of these offensive zone draws. They've gotten plenty of chances, but can't really get the puck through center if you're not winning those draws.
And I would say the quality of chances, Torin, the numerical amount, is probably in favor of Georgia.
Yeah, through the whole game, lots of posts hit. I think I counted 5 total.
And just these last few, I mean, that shot by Bailey, we never expected it to go in, but that's just because of how good Denk has been. That was an excellently placed shot. And it's similar to game 1 we mentioned when these teams first played. Georgia came out flat. They were able to put up 55 shots, but Denk only allowed 3 by him. And this has been a similar story. You know, with 4 on the board, you don't expect to be in this position of just thinking you'd have maybe 2 times, 3 times as more, but it's certainly been that kind of game for Georgia, and all credit to Denk. And, of course, the offensive side for these Tigers has taken advantage when they've needed to, especially Fleet, as he'll glide in here.
So the biggest face-off of the game right here, 1:07 left to go in the third. Georgia trailing by 2 with 6 skaters on the ice. And a defensive zone draw won by the Tigers, but quickly taken away by Bailey. Here's a shot from Gannon right into the chest of Denk once again.
And Conway, I think, got that tip. It was either him or Hedquist out in front, and they just tipped it straight down. You so much of the time see that go 5-hole on the goalie. But Denk had his glove down like he was catching a pop fly when you're a 5-year-old and just brought it in.
There's a big hit there in the corner as Conway comes together with a Tigers player out in front. Loose puck. Denk sprawling, able to lay out and cover that one. as Conway got some separation in front for that loose puck, but Dink comes up big once again.
And this is just a series of ridiculous saves. This last 2 minutes has been excellent, as this was a great opportunity, great keep, and then you see the turnaround pass, just knowing your man is there, and it's tipped, but Dank is able to keep it out of his own nylon.
Off the tie-up, the Dogs come away with it. Shot by Parente, turned aside by Dink. This one cleared but not out. Bailey able to get it over to Poole. Walking into the slot, that one poked out to center ice, and that will take a few seconds off the clock here for the Tigers.
And that was an excellent drawn-up face-off, as the opportunity was perfect.
Jack Gannon with it, trying to fire it across. Gloved down by the Tigers, but Parente's got it. Backdoor, he's got Bailey, but good pressure from Patillo to make him force it to the corner. And this one off the glass and out with 20 seconds left, and it's into the open cage. About as long of a goal as you're going to score, and I think they're going to give that one to Lange, as he makes it 7-4 with the empty net goal, and that will do it, Joe.
Yeah, good job. That one, just a little bit of luck as it ringed around and was able to find the back of the Georgia net. So 7-4 will likely be the final score, as Testino will return to the net, and we'll have just over 15 seconds. And Georgia, so many good opportunities, especially on that last face-off, right out in front. The step-through worked perfectly, the pass into the slot, and Dank, another great save. I'm excited for Game 2 tomorrow, Torin. This has been a good one where the Tigers will come out on top.
So that puck goes down into the Auburn zone. With 10 seconds left on the clock, they will just eat this one. And that will do it here. So it's a 7-4 final. Auburn with their second win over the Ice Dawgs, and that is a big win for these Tigers as they move into playoff position, Joe.
Yeah, we mentioned before the stream, during the stream, how important this weekend is going to be to the Tigers. They're one of only 3 teams that have beaten these Dogs. They were going to have to do so at least once to brighten their playoff positions, and I think we're going to have an interesting game tomorrow and perhaps another matchup in the playoffs between these two teams.
So an excellent game from Camden Dink back in goal for the Tigers, just like we saw in the 2-game series earlier this season. And I would not be surprised if he gets the nod tomorrow for Auburn.
He's going to want to maybe get in the sauna and the ice tub as he faced a flurry of shots. I'm pretty sure we'll mention how many he faced tomorrow.
I'd like to see the count because it was not updated on the score sheet here that we're looking at online.
It was just a masterclass of goalkeeping. And then, of course, on the offensive end, Jake Fleet, not only the hat trick, but at the end just won many a face-off to help the Tigers out. Just a full team effort, and I think the Dogs will have some regrouping in what was a, as said, interesting game.
So the Tigers move to 2-1 against the Ice Dawgs in the season series. Georgia will look to bounce back tomorrow as these two teams will meet right here on the UGA Hockey YouTube channel, a 9:30 puck drop, 9:30 p.m. that is, right here from the ice in Cumming, Georgia. For Joe Kopsho and Ren Grimsley, I'm Torin Smith. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you all next time.